Hey, I ran into something I thought it'd be helpful to show you all. So I'm skinning our character here, this new guy. And when you have kind of clothes like this, and I'm going to want to tie these down to certain places, sometimes that can be a little tedious. So I want to show you how to do that. So I'm using Relax on NG Skin Tools right now, but what I'm going to want to do is tie this down to this jacket when it's done. So what I'm going to do is in NG Skin Tools, if you're going to do stuff with the regular Maya tools, you can't have it, so you need to pull it off that object. So I'm just going to delete it from that node. And then what I'm going to do is I want to fix it to a certain place. So I'm going to pick a vertex here. I'm going to say I'm going to copy the vertex weights on that vertex. And then what I'm going to do is come in here and select all of these. I'm going to come back out and I'm going to unselect these. I don't want the jacket, I really just want this. I'm going to paste those vertices. Cool. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom, so I'm going to say I'm going to tie that to here. So I'm going to copy that vertex weight. Then I'm going to paste that vertex weight there. Yeah. And then I'm going to do the same thing here in the middle. I'm going to grab this one. Talk to the creator of NG Skin Tools, and hopefully this copy and paste stuff is going to be in the next build of it, because it's kind of annoying to have to go back and forth for basic functionality, but it's not in there yet. Make sure you're not selecting things that you don't want to select. Now, this functionality is also really good when if I'm doing something with like a hard spot, like a button, I'll show you in a second, or like I have a dinosaur or a dragon that's got like hard points, like scales or something, and I want to harden them to a certain joint or a certain weight. You can do that way without doing any particular. Oops. Let's see, we're going to grab you. I'm going to get all of this stuff. All of this stuff here. So you'll see that we have something kind of close. And then what I'd come back and do as I come back, I'm going to go ahead and get this one tied down here. I'm going to tie it on this corner. Alright. Then what I can do is for this middle stuff, I can go back and reload this to NG Skim. I can select this edge. And only be affecting this edge. I can relax that, so I can get a nice blend there, but I still got my hard points at the corners. So again, this is just a basic workflow idea. Let me do that, and then I'm going to come back, and again I have to delete that node again, and I want to harden this button to a point on here. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to select this and this and this. I'll extrude and this, and we'll grow that. And then paste that. And that way my button's going to be right on top where I want it to be and still following with the jacket. I'm going to do the same thing with these buttons. I'm going to pick a spot. And I'm going to make sure that button's nice and hard so it's not getting bent. Ideally, you'd have a vertice on the jacket there because there is going to be some bending in that that's going to penetrate. There's just really nothing you can do about it because there's not a crease there. So it's just something you deal with. Alright. I did want to show this guy a little bit. So this is the rig I've been working on for the game jam we're on. Got a nice squash and stretch little tie. For the clothes I have 5 chains, 2 on each side, 1 in the center. I'm going to mirror this. Positive to negative. There we go. Nice. So I'm gonna do a breakdown for y'all, but he has a segment in his head, just like Brain did. And that's kind of how this is working. So the I'll do the full breakdown later. But it makes for being able to do some fun stuff with faces. So you can really push an eye, do some funky stuff, and still have everything working. Which is a bugger to get working right for Unreal, but it should be working. We have to test it fully, but that's the idea. And then we redid the eye to a clam, so it has a let me fix that. It has a clam lid now, so whatever rotation you do this to, the blend is actually between this driver and this driver, so the actual lid will seal at that point. So if I blink, I can change the height. And actually I have a trainer as well on this, so you can train the seal on this setup. I gotta explain that too. But anyway, it's feeling pretty good. I added a main brow control as well, which is more helpful for doing stuff like this. For you doing hats, it's really great to put a pivot setup on it. So this is just a handle that has the pivot setup. You can do some fun stuff with that. I did play with, so the idea, I'll have to pull that, get the lips out of that jacket, waiting. I play with on this head, so we have a segment. So I play with changing the space so that this would actually follow that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, because I kind of like having the control. I was having to fight it someone I was playing with earlier. So I'm not sure how we'll end up going that route. Yeah, I got to pull that out, definitely. But it's a fun rig. It's a fun setup. The squash and stretch is working really good. I'd like to do a rig like this when we get done with it for release for y'all to play with. What else? Oh, I can't show this. So this is new. Any subsequent builds, I think this may be in 2.6 and not 2.5. I'll have to, I don't remember. But if I have the proxy, so I turn off Geo and I have the proxy on, now I can hide particular parts. So the workflow here that I was envisioning was if you're just doing fast animation stuff and you just want to focus on the spine or whatever, you can do that. So if I wanted to hide the legs, I select these controls and part, and then viz module hide, and it's going to hide the controls and the proxy stuff for that. So what I want to do is like the focus thing, like we did with the blocks, to be able to say I won't select the spine or whatever and to say focus it. I just haven't got to that point yet. But what I did in the last pass was to add the wiring so that I can hook up the proxy controls to visibility for the module. So anyway, it's just something new. I think it'll be helpful once we get it fully implemented, but it's just kind of halfway there right now. But I think that's good for this video. I'm going to finish skinning this guy up, and I will do a breakdown on his face and release the blocks so y'all can mess with them soon. Alright, have a good one.